Well, hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, 2019, and this is your Team Prosperity Wednesday meeting. What an exciting time. I'm seriously super pumped up for May. Things are exploding, really moving, but I think that May is going to be the best month that we've ever had. So I hope that things are going great with you all. I'm really excited for today. Mike's got a great presentation. David's got some stuff that he's going to share. So without further ado, I'm actually going to go ahead and bring up David. And David, you can unmute your line by *6, and we would love to hear from you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'll share a little bit of what I've been doing besides trying to get people into the company and writing business. I have been exploring with different people on LinkedIn about how to bring more people to attention to your and my profile. I took a class yesterday called LEAD, L-E-A-D, through LinkedIn about how to drive 50 to 100 people to your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to do it again. I have a class at 3:15 on Friday, my time. So kind of a one-on-one, I'm learning that. And then I spoke to another woman last night by Zoom, and she's with an elite pro marketing company that helps people with LinkedIn and their images on LinkedIn. So I want to share a little bit with what I did. The profile. What you should be writing in your profile is about where you have been, where you are today, and why you're here, and how we can help people. So I changed my whole demeanor of everything, and really what I said, I can read this out loud to you. I said, since my 35-year career ended in the furniture industry in 2008 during the economic decline, I wanted another career, not just a job. Entering the insurance industry was a monumental leap for me. After 2 different stints with agencies, I was asked to watch a video in 2016. That was the start of my last search with the technology company, Virtual Financial. Knowing the world has changed, and I believe this organization was on the right path. Today, we are poised to help others by creating an opportunity for all to empower their dreams. I encourage all that reads this to contact me to explore the possibilities to fulfill your dreams. That's it. It was an amazing thing for me to learn from this lady, and I'm going to meet with her again because, look, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the one making 50 to 100 phone calls a day. It's becoming very laborious, very exhausting. We've got to find new ways to drive people into our funnel at the top. So more automation will help us. I believe that in a heartbeat, and it will alleviate some of the phone calls. Again, if you're not talking to people, you're not on the phone with people, chances of you, and B, not following up. I got to tell you, everybody, I'm on salesjobs.com. I have talked to numerous people in the last week. Oh, yeah, someone contacted me, but they never followed up. Someone contacted me 5 different times. We're missing the boat, everybody. If you reach somebody and they watch the video, why aren't we following up? Listen, I follow up like crazy, and a lot of people don't show. I mean, they tell me the time they call them, and they do, and they don't show. I get the frustration. If anybody's more frustrated about it, it's me. So what I'm trying to do is help everybody learn what we need to do so to bring more people into the top of the funnel in an automated way. I really believe time is money, and money is time. And the 2 hours and 3 hours I spend drilling myself every day between 50 and it's more like 75 to 100 phone calls a day, and I don't stop. I just don't stop. But it's become to the point, I analyzed everything. I've been with the company 2.5 years. I've got over 70,000 phone calls. That's a lot of phone calls to find some really good people. I believe this automation, and we need to learn. Listen, I'm not an expert at social media. I don't believe anybody in our group is an expert at social media. We're an expert in our company. Learn our company, learn the plan, learn the system, learn the change. You're going to hear me talk again all about change. I mean, go back in your lifetime And I want you to remember all the things that have changed, from a tricycle, what it was, to what it is today, to the first computer you saw, when I saw it was a whole building, to today's a phone, which is a computer. It's changing, and it's changing so rapidly. People now that I speak to know the changes, and they see the changes. What's coming in the next 6 to 8 months is going to surprise all of you if you're not reading about it. It's here. So my goal is to help every one of you. If you all want some information from me, here's my phone number, 949-466-3304. Anytime you want to talk to me, I'm here to help you. I'm learning. I'm sharing all this with Mike. He and I are really, I get a lot of information from different people all the time. So what I'm trying to do is disseminate between who the best people are to help us at the minimal amount of cost. Look, I know nothing's for free. Nothing will ever be for free. But if it's worth it, and again, time is money and money is time, if it can alleviate my an hour and a half of phone calls and I can get real people into the top of our funnel, it's going to be better for all of us. So just hang tight. I'm working very diligently to move forward with this. That's really all I have. Ilana, tell Mike to take away. Thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much. Senior Vice President David Chase, everybody. And like he said, he's going to be the guest speaker for our virtual financial company meeting on his 65th birthday on May 11th. So 10 days away. And I couldn't agree with him more. We're always constantly learning, changing, finding new ways to drive traffic. And that's a lot of the reason why we have a Wednesday meeting like this, so we can all become experts at social media together, setting up, ways for automation. And but I couldn't agree more. Making phone calls, doing follow-up, absolute must. Anyways, great stuff. Let me go ahead and grab Mike. Bear with me for just 1 second.
All right, you guys, it's May the 1st, so we're heading into, like we talked about last week, a period of the year where people tend to downshift. What you want to do is always separate yourself from the crowd. You want to try to upshift during this particular period of time and see what you can get done over the summer, because not only will that get you some immediate results, but it also sets you up for an amazing fourth quarter, fall and winter, because of the work that you did during the summer. So when everybody else is kind of shifting down, shift up and watch the results that come in. David made some really good points, you guys. And David not only puts in effort, but he's putting money behind this too, to find new ways to help us evolve, in what we do. You can't have a revolutionary new innovative digital model and do the same thing that traditional companies are doing. So we have to evolve as well. And like David mentioned, nobody in this company is using social media correctly. There's very few people in the open marketplace that are using social media correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn from these people. We're going to mimic these people, and we're going to build infrastructure on the front end that allows you guys to get in front of people that are wanting to talk to you. So less outbound marketing, more inbound marketing. That's going to be the key. So David, I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate the financial commitment you made to helping yourself and helping our business. We've got a lot of good things coming over the coming weeks and months. We're going to dive into a lot of these things and help you guys. And what I did also is the people that I feel like that are really attempting to make this happen, I'm scheduling conversations with them once a week. And that's something that you can take away as a manager. As you build your organization, you're not going to be able to make people want to do this. You're not going to be able to want this more for somebody else than they want it for themselves. So your main objective when you're looking at your team is to evaluate, where do I spend my time? Who do I place my chips behind? Because like I said, you've only got so much time in the day. You want to invest that time into the people that are actually trying to make it happen. So let's talk about some things today that I think are important. Number one, salesjobs.com. We are going to be winding this down. I'm thinking that over the next few months, probably as we get to the point, in August where school starts to start back up, I think we're going to wind this down. We've hit this database pretty hard. I think it's time to move on. And like I said, we want to make sure we go from outbound to inbound marketing. So whatever you want to get done on this platform or on this site over the next few months in terms of extracting information, making calls, doing whatever it is that you want to do, make sure you get that done because we are going to be moving on to something else. Also, we also want to set up multiple marketing campaigns. Like I've told you guys before, if a company is fixated on one marketing leg and it's disrupted, the whole business model falls apart. If you've got enough marketing legs where you've got trickles of leads coming in, then that's really ultimately what you want to have going on for yourself and your business partnerships to help them out. So, text messaging on a broad scale, as far as like one person handling text market messaging for everybody, it's not going to work. What you need to do is do individualized campaigns. It helps us stay in compliance. It helps us on a lot of different levels make this so that you can use it. I use Dial My Calls. It's an easy platform. It's inexpensive. There's also a YouTube video that goes through a little bit about how to use that. But once again, if you don't feel comfortable using text, don't use it. But ultimately, you want to set up enough marketing legs to have enough conversations where you're not putting value on the lead itself. And that allows you to work these leads a lot more efficiently. If you're only producing so many leads per month, then all of a sudden the value of that lead skyrockets and you get nervous to talk to those people because you feel like you got to make something happen out of that lead. When you have enough leads, you're just going through the numbers and then you're bringing in the right people instead of bringing in anybody. Ultimately, it's a yes-no game. And if it's a client, it's a partner, that's all we're trying to figure out from the upfront marketing. Is a potential yes or potential no on the agency building side, on the product side. It's pretty clear cut in terms of there's not a lot of rebuttal. There's not a lot of explanation. It's just, inviting people to take a look at what we're doing on the business side, inviting people to take a look at what we're doing for the consumer on the client side, getting some initial feedback and sorting them into their appropriate slots. So it's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no all the time. And out of that yes, no scenario, you're going to start to build your organization. And the two numbers that you want to look at if you're brand new, you want to concentrate on the agency building side, the partnership side, trying to find 3 qualified partners to bring in every month, not 3 people who agree to come into your business. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for 3 people who have interest in this, understand our vision, have a work ethic, go through that tier 1 ABC. We, through the interview process, we feel that's a good fit for both sides and we make an offer to them. Now, out of that 3, you're going to start to build a base shop of 10. And if you can start to get up to these numbers every month, everything will start to fall into place. Your direct, your base shop, your distribution, your franchise. Those are the 2 numbers. 3, 10. If you're brand new, don't worry about the 10. If you're building a base shop, then the 3, 10 coincides with what you're looking at as a goal each and every month. And then remember, as you bring people in, we've got 1 training sale. That's all we require. We have no builder's exchange leg. It's nothing compared to the other models. The difference is on that exchange sale, on that training sale, we reward it with, contract promotions, with reductions and guidelines for everything leading up to and including senior vice president. So what we ask of our partners and then what they receive, not only from the exchange, but the training tool support, ongoing mentorship, coaching, is very valuable in this marketplace because when you talk to people, either coming from other agencies, other opportunities inside the insurance industry or outside with, for example, network marketing organizations, a lot of people don't get the training, don't get the support. They're just kind of thrown out there to see what happens. So understand the value of what we have to offer, not only in the infrastructure and the model, but also as a team as well. We go over and beyond to help people that are trying to make this happen. Also, as a consultant, guys, you want to make sure that you understand what I found really works is 2 things. When I'm talking to a client, visuals and graphics work very well, and the ability for the client to pick among different types of outcomes. So when you're talking about insurance-based products, protection, asset accumulation, give choices, build value. You want to talk about value over cost. Not going to go through this, but there's an ABC scenario on protection. We look at a term, return of premium term, and a permanent policy that I've listed as an IUL, not overfunding, just a target. What happens over a 20-year period? What happens at the end of a 40-year period with a lot of these? And you can see that if you put this in front of the client, ask if cost is not a factor, which one of these makes more sense. now you can start talking about value, and that might be able to get you guys some extra premium or some higher premium coming in on these sales. So remember, you don't want to, exceed somebody's budget or what they're comfortable with, but you also don't want to always just talk about the cost of something, especially when you're talking about protection and retirement planning. And if you are a consultant or you're thinking about being a consultant in this company, one of the tools that I think is a pretty nice tool that you can use. Now, there's a monthly commitment. I think it's up to $40, $49 a month now. But this is a great way because when you're explaining stuff, and the website is iulagent.com, and when you're explaining stuff, the total advantage calculator will allow you to put things side by side. It'll allow you to change the tax brackets. It'll allow you to change a whole number of parameters or variables, and you can show your client over periods of time the net advantages in taxes, fees, net income produced, death benefit, total advantage. And it's important that people understand, because one of the biggest fears right now, as people are seeing maybe their parents have a standard of living in retirement that was not what they expected, because maybe they're still saddled with debt they're servicing, or maybe the retirement vehicles they set up for themselves didn't return the income streams they thought. These are black and white numbers. And, there's a saying that people lie, but numbers don't. When you put things in front of people, you can have a clear, concise, articulate conversation and an influential conversation. It's going to lead to some solid sales. So this is something that if you are a consultant in this company and you can afford the $40 or $50 a month, it will have, it will return a lot of value for you. Another thing that we need to bring up, we are a virtual company, so we will work on the weekends, we'll take Monday appointments, whatever it is that the client or partner needs. But also you've got to understand it's weekend o'clock, and when it's Monday again, the show rate on weekend appointments as well as Monday appointments is a lot lower than the rest of the week. So one of the ways that you can shore up those show rates is to confirm weekend and Monday appointments. This will help your show percentages. If I'm a potential partner or a potential client and you call, text, email me to remind me about a weekend or a Monday appointment, and I get mad about it, first of all, that's not the person you want to work with. I would be appreciative that you reminded me of a weekend or Monday appointment. So don't be shy about confirming, following up. Be brave, be bold, like David said. If you're just going to go out there and make one-and-done attempts, you're going to find this business is not going to grow very quickly for you. And then the things that you pass down to your downline, the bad habits, just creates an empire of dirt, basically. So make sure you understand people's nature in terms of the weekend and Monday appointments and confirm those to increase your show percentages. When you are looking for partners, you're looking for partners and teammates. You're not looking for spectators. Champions don't show up to get everything they want. They show up to get everything they have. If you find a handful of people that understand our vision, are willing to work for this, and have a work ethic to back it up, they're positive, they're coachable. You don't need, like in so many of these other network marketing, MLM, or other models, hundreds of thousands of people in there. If you find a core group of 5 to 7, that will really get this business going, but you got to make sure they're the right people. Once again, it might have an immediate gratification to put a number up on the board and bring somebody in, but if they're not going to do anything, this is not an MLM where you get paid to bring people in. If you put, along with us, hours and hours and hours and hours into somebody and they don't do anything, it's total loss for you, it's total loss for us, total loss for the organization and the company. So don't be afraid or shy to tell people no. And remember, you need somebody that has a long-term vision. You need somebody that's going to be self-reliant. You need somebody that's ability to have self-reflection, meaning that they can learn. If you've got that person that we classify as the know-it-all, how can you ever teach somebody something to someone that already knows it all? So long-term vision, self-reliance, self-reflection, these are the entrepreneurial characteristics that are really important when you're out there. Whether it's an entrepreneur that's already, established an entrepreneurial pattern, or whether it's somebody with the entrepreneurial mindset, they need to have certain characteristics that will, kind of forecast or foreshadow them being successful in this company. This is a question for you, and this is a question for your partners. Do you have the desire to dominate the market? If you do, we've got an incredible model. If you don't have the desire to dominate a market, this model will get you some value, but the real players that you're looking for are people that understand disruption in this industry, all the infrastructure, scalable operation, no point of resistance for scalability. Do you want to dominate the market? If so, I want to talk to you. I want to partner with you. What's going to get the best results? And David referenced this. If we're in a model that's new, revolutionary, innovative, and we're doing the same thing that other agencies are doing, we're not taking full advantage of what we have in front of us. So we're going to evolve, change, morph, and we're going to start getting the results that we're all looking for with things that we're going to do that might be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. But once you get used to something, listen, you're not going to be an expert at anything. I don't care what craft, hobby, sport that you pick up for the first time, you're going to be pretty terrible at it. Through the process of practicing and being devoted towards whatever it is, craft, hobby, business, sport, you're going to get better. Activity and accountability is the 1-2 combination punch on the front side. You add education to that, and that's really the trio of what's going to help you be successful. And last but not least, you've got to look for partners that refuse to give in or give up. If somebody's going to give in or give up at the first sign of a little bit of trouble, then that's a weak mentality. This is a business where you don't have to come in with deep pockets. You don't have to have additional capital infrastructure, but you do have to have some grit. You do have to have a grinding kind of factor. You do have to have hustle, sacrifice, a little sweat equity in the beginning. Somebody's unwilling to do that, they probably don't fit in the mentality or the profile that you're looking for. And serious commitment. Remember, team tracker, activity sheets, all of these things to help yourself, help your partners, stay organized on an individual as well as an organizational growth pattern. It's not a full-time or part-time deal. It's a commitment. So we're not looking at the hours as a commitment. We're looking at what hours you do devote to this. What are you doing during those hours? Are you progressing? Are you evolving? Or have you been in here for 8-9 months and you're still doing the same thing you were from day one? Change is uncomfortable, but change is going to be, what unlocks a lot of the value in terms of, your growth as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business person. And you got to know your why. If you don't know why you're doing this business, and this is especially important for your partners as well coming in, if you don't know why you're doing this, it's going to be hard to find the motivation that gets you going on a daily basis. So live your vision, demand your success, write your goals down, stay accountable, revisit this stuff on a daily basis. In the trenches of building this business out, day in, day out, week in, week out, you're going to have good days, bad days, really bad days, but overall, if you kind of step away and watch the growth of your business and keep, intact what you need, which is your why, your visions, your goals, your accountability, your reflection, your education, things will progress. And then once you hit that inflection point, the velocity will soon follow. It's 90-day madman cycles. That's why we do the 12-week year. It works perfectly because we're breaking things down. We've got a 12-week year. We've got emphasis on valuing and extracting value from every single day. And when you get in the habit of doing this, you are going to crush the competition, not only in the industry, but out in the open marketplace as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a marketer. And when you can teach people to take action at the speed of instruction and to be aggressive in the marketplace, you're going to find that your results, your partner's results really increase. And that's going to bring a positivity to the whole organizational build out. If people are making money and they're growing, they're going to be happy, and that's going to come out in their conversations, the way they market, the way they attack each and every day. And the 90-day cycle is just about measuring results on a shorter basis. It's about organization. It's about planning. It's about execution. It's about being obsessive about the time right now. This moment, what am I going to get done with it? And outside of that 90-day cycle, remember, inside each and every day, you can break your pattern of your daily activity into hours, be more aggressive, more intense, bring more energy to that hour, step away, and come back. Don't just think you have to sit down if you're a full-time person for 6-7 hours in a chair. It's not going to get you the results. Get up, get active, get moving. But when you are working on this business, bring the intensity, bring the aggressiveness, bring the energy that, this deserves. And the 12-week year really allows you to tackle yourself. It's uncomfortable, like a lot of the other changes that we do in life, but you can master this. It's going to bring you incredible results. So the vision, you've got to have it. You got to feel it. You got to want it. Leads down to the 12-week goals, leads down to the weekly goals, leads down to the daily actions. Make goals that you have the most control over depending on where you are in the business. If you're brand new, you have no business making goals about cash flow, revenue, income. You should have activity goals. You know, that we're into the new 12-week year. We've got a good amount of participants. I'm happy with where this is going. I think eventually when we can get this as far as not just segmented, but the entire organization to participate with this, we're going to really rocket past, you know, even the expectations you probably set for yourself. And remember, as you have organizational growth, that cold market, social media market, that's going to fuel warm market lead generation. The more qualified partners that you bring in, and especially if they don't have industry experience, like a typical insurance agent, financial service rep, their warm market is going to probably lead to more product sales, maybe some more partners coming in. But as your organization grows, the man hours increase, the activity increases, and the warm market increases by the organizational build out and growth. So you never want to take your eye off the cycle of how we're generating and marketing leads. And don't forget, your warm market lead generation doesn't stop with that Launch 20. The Launch 20 is basically to give you a starting point to understand the CRM, start to have some tier 1 contact. But remember, we're not selling things that everybody knows about. So when you look at your warm market, it's a walk of life. Build your list, living benefits, crusade for the client side. You should never forget the benefits that living benefits can return to somebody's situation. It can save them from bankruptcy, foreclosure, possible divorce. They have cancer. It can give them hundreds of thousands of dollars to attack this cancer in the way that they want to. So what I do for my warm market is I kind of CYA'd. I kind of covered my own butt to make sure I offered this to people that I thought might be interested. So when this business blows up, those people can't come back to me and say, Mike, you never even talked to me about this. Yes, I did. On the product side, I pushed it a little bit because there's tens of millions of these policies out here, traditional term. I want to get people in a much better position. So never forget the crusade for the client side of the business, and that's walk of life. Also, for yourself and your partners, when I talk about accountability, I get two kind of reactions. Number one, it's an alien concept. You know, why would I do that? You know, why would I even participate in that? Or, you know, hell no, I'm just too cool for that. So you have to realize that the most successful people at anything are accountable. If you're not accountable, then A, you probably don't know what activity you're doing and what results those get. And when you don't know, it's almost impossible to scale. When you do know what you're doing, what results those are getting, it's a lot easier to fix the problems, correct the issues, to get the results you're looking for. And it's a lot easier to scale it once you know what activity gets what, whether it's in social media, cold market, warm market, whatever it might be. Easier to scale when you know the numbers. If you don't know your numbers, it's going to be impossible to scale this business. The 12-week year is going to offer you guys the system to manage your time. It's going to also offer you a way to really feel and look at your goals in a whole new way. And with our company, a digital strategy, the tactics that we have, combining it with a 12-week year system, the activity that you have, and the time management system with the business system that you have, it's really an incredible opportunity. It's not going to be easy to master a 12-week year system. It's not going to be easy to master our business system, but when you do, you have an unlimited business opportunity, which is pretty amazing. I don't know about you guys, but when Alana and I came into this business, we had no background as a recruiter. So how to become a recruiter with no experience? And that's really important because a lot of the people that you guys hire probably have never recruited anybody for anything. It's not something that is a must skill coming in. It can definitely be learned. But when you have no experience, there's some things that you look at. One of the things that you can't be is afraid. You got to be brave. You got to be bold. You got to put yourself out there as a recruiter. What could you do if fear was removed? And I think a lot of times that fear factor is just the unknown. So we're always forecasting worst case scenario. Your brain's going to actually respond to this mentality. So if you remove that, you remove the fear, you act brave, you act bold, the brain's going to get used to that. If you're always in the cycle of, you know, kind of being timid, being afraid, not being brave, not being bold, brain's going to respond to that as well. So put yourself out there. This is an environment where you don't have to be face-to-face. You don't really have to put yourself out there. It's now more than ever easy to go out there and be brave, be bold, put yourself out there. And remember, idea plus hard work times time plus discipline equals success. This is not an overnight get-rich-quick scheme. Even if you find one of those, it's got so many flaws in it. Those people never, reach the pinnacle that was promised to them in those advertisements. So pay the price today so you can pay any price tomorrow. If you put the effort into this, then you will find success. The time factor is the variable. How long is it going to take you to get up to the point where you find the success that you were looking for? So legitimate opportunity to get you to senior vice president, 6 figures on a bonus schedule per year. The numbers are laid out. And a lot of these businesses, you don't know how to get to the next level. You don't know how to get to bonuses of X. You don't know how to earn the money. Everything's laid out. You got mathematical formulas that can break all the way down to what you need to do today to push yourself to those numbers. Tier 1 is the key to your business. Tier 1 contact is how your business is made. So when you look at the business opportunity and maybe your funnel isn't full, you want to track it back. So how many videos did I send out? If it wasn't enough videos, probably not enough tier 1 contacts. So even the revenue and income, like we just talked about, is mapped out. But even your activity is mapped out in this business where you can trace it back. Where's the holes? Where are the deficiencies? Why am I not getting enough flow to my pipeline? And it really goes back to the tier 1 contact. I can tell you guys that the tier 1 contact in the beginning is going to be uncomfortable, but I've seen people come to this organization that stuck with it, and all of a sudden their conversations become easier. The notes that I see coming through the CRM are a lot better. They're able to have that, clear, concise, articulate conversation that starts to influence people just by putting in the phone time, just by putting in the marketing time. So it will get easier. Nothing's going to be, you're not going to be an expert at this, from coming out of the gates. One of the things that you definitely need to understand is when you're trying to hire the right people for your vision, we are looking for entrepreneurs with vision that, want to be part of a disruption in a very large industry. Notice I didn't say insurance agent. Notice I didn't say financial service rep. Notice I didn't classify any one type of person. I'm classifying them as entrepreneurs. I don't care about their background. What I care about is, do they understand what we're doing? Do they want to be a part of it? Do they have the motivation, the work ethic? Can they put in the sweat equity, the grit to get this done? If so, it's a good fit. If not, it's not. Doing an ABC call for a partner last night, relatively quick ABC call, because it basically boiled down to, what do you want to do? He's already in the insurance industry. Do you want to build a book of business in a traditional model where you go meet with clients face-to-face? Or do you want to build digital agencies nationwide that allow you for widespread distribution of financial services? He wants to build a book of business in a traditional model, going and meeting with clients. Not a good fit, guys. I'm not going to try to rebuttal or bring somebody in. And I think that's the main issue in the beginning for you guys, is you think you're trying to close people to come in this business. It's the exact opposite. You're inviting people to take a look at what our company's doing, leading with videos, getting some feedback will help you sort them out. That really starts with understanding, who are you looking for? And we're going to be working on this in the coming weeks and months to make sure that you understand, because maybe who I'm looking for is different than who you're looking for in a demographic, because, David Chase, baby boomer, he understands that generation. I need to study that generation. So when you're talking to people, it's not blanketed approaches. You need to talk to the millennial generation. You need to talk to Gen X. You need to talk to baby boomers in a different way, because they have different views in the world and they have different problems they're dealing with. If your marketing becomes blanketed, you're not going to find the type of targeted marketing that gets you in front of the people that you want to talk to, that have been exposed to the information that, resonates with their side. So really, what problem does your product or service solve for your target audience? You need to know who your target audience is. You need to know what the message to them is. And you need to know from your side, what problem are you solving? Because if you get into the mentality and the habit with your marketing of offering solutions to people's problems, both on the partner and the client side, things will start to take off. You need to divide and conquer. We talked about this. Who is your audience? You can't talk to everybody the same. And that's important. So this is an example. Millennial generation is coming into their own. There's a lot of money that they're going to be controlling. They've got different views of the world. They've got different problems they're dealing with. WealthWave did a great job of producing videos to learn about a millennial, to learn about a Gen X, to learn about a baby boomer, So part of your education process should be learning about the different generations, different demographics, what they're dealing with, and once again, what solution can you offer them to deal with their individual or their demographic problems. Know who you're talking to, whether it's a partner or a client. It's very important. We're going to be working on this over the coming weeks and months. Also, value identifier. So you need to understand environment, emotions, objections, obstacles, success, influences, actions, behaviors. The more that you can understand about the person that you're trying to connect with, the easier it is to find that person and talk to that person. And we can't do that like we're calling resumes out of a database. There's no way you're going to understand anything about that person. So when you look at the opportunity in digital marketing, social media marketing to build audiences, clone audiences, look at those analytics and learn more to the point that you've got a good campaign, talking to the right people, getting the right message across, getting the right reaction to them, just about scaling it with a little bit of advertising cost, and you're off to the races. Remember, what motivates your audience? It's going to be one or two things: pleasure, feeling good, or avoiding pain. And we've talked about this before. The private jet, the nice car, the nice house is not going to resonate with everybody that you're marketing to. What might resonate with them more is avoiding the situation happening to their family member, their neighbor, their coworker. So avoiding pain is a much stronger motivating factor. It's the carrot versus the stick, and sometimes the stick works better. So remember, avoiding a pain point is a lot of what marketing can evolve to be doing. So look for a pain point that you can solve, just like we talked about. Be solutions-based, not talking about you, not talking about the company, but talking about problems that people face and the solutions that you can offer. You know, there might be multiple solutions, but you have to identify the person, the problem, and then it's your job to provide the solutions. If you provide solutions to people's problems, you're going to find success on the client as well as the partner side. And also remember, part of your solutions-based marketing, messaging, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that we are wrapped up in a product revolution cycle in the industry. So remember, frame your conversations. Why are we expanding? Why are we reaching out to clients? Why are we trying to expand our partners, our agencies? Well, it's because we've got vehicles, strategies, and information that a lot of people don't know about they need in this time, in this day, in this society. So we are growing, expanding, because financial literacy is a major problem in this country, and we are passionate about fixing it, whether it's product or client side. Remember, innovation does not have to be a product. Innovation in our model is a process. It's an old way versus a new way, and the new way or the innovation unlocks a lot of value. And we've talked about this. The value in our model is not really passed down to the client in terms of cost savings, because financial services, insurance products are set. The savings from this model goes right to us as the entrepreneur. We can have exponential reach, we can build digital agencies, and we can do this without capital infrastructure that normally holds up the growth model in the traditional sense. I mean, this is a .com era. This is an internet era. So you need to understand the environment that we're in, how we're operating, and understand that innovation is a state of mind. If you're in an innovative business model, you need to think about other parts of your business in an innovative state of mind too. How am I marketing? How am I managing? How am I consulting? Always trying to find new value for both you and the other side. And that's really about what we're offering. We're offering a path to a successful franchise ownership. And a few weeks ago, we talked about the cost and the requirements of opening some of these franchises. Most of the people on this call for a lot of these franchises would not be able to afford to open that franchise. Here, you don't have to have deep pockets. We need a set of criteria that we run through to make sure you understand what's expected of you, or what we're going to offer from our side, what you can expect. But ultimately, we've got multiple streams of revenue and income that can be made from this model, and you've got an assembly line that allows people to gravitate towards what they want to specialize in and not be forced into roles they don't feel comfortable doing, they lack the skill set to do, or they just don't want to do at all. So you've got a lot of advantages here that allows the gates to be open a little wider as to who can come in, build a business, because when you look at the traditional model, you've got to wear all hats. We're not good at everything. To expect somebody to come in and pass an insurance license exam and then send them out and try to close a $2, $3, $4, $500,000 annuity or an IUL for several $1,000s a month is ludicrous. Now you can pass that off to a certified financial planner, CPA, CLU, somebody with decades of experience, and get paid pretty nicely as a lead generator. Remember, when you look at the business, when you look at any business, you've got to look at some basic stuff. Good profit on each item, the ability to move inventory, good return on investment, watch your cash flow. You've also got to realize where you are. You want to be that guy out in the front. You don't want to be that guy all stuck back in the pack. And your accountability to goals is also important. But when you look at our business model, let's say that over the next 7 to 10 days, you need to move inventory. And let's say you've had a gangbuster period of time. And let's say you need to move 20 living benefits policies, 10 IULs. Well, guess what? You don't have to have that inventory in stock. It's real-time inventory. As you need it, it's available. So you're not having to put out capital to put up a warehouse full of inventory to try to resell. It's real-time inventory. It's an amazing opportunity where as little or as much as you sell, it's right there in front of you. Also, when you are out there talking to people, understand there are two mindsets. There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. We're interested in talking to and bringing on partners that have a growth mindset. Fixed mindset runs into a lot of problems mentally that we can't overcome. So you've got to make sure the people you're speaking with have a growth mindset, because that really, first and foremost, is going to allow them to evaluate this business opportunity in a light that they see the opportunity. Whereas a fixed mindset, they're going to see what they see, which is very limited opportunity based on just the way they view the outside world. Toxic people, you got to get rid of them. Hopefully the filters get rid of them on the front end, but if you allow toxic people to slip into your organization, just kind of quarantine them. Get rid of them, because you need a positive environment. Open-minded people don't care to be right. They care to understand. There's never a right or wrong answer. Everything's about understanding. When you get somebody like we talked about earlier that knows everything, how in the world are we going to teach somebody anything because they already know everything? So those people who spread negativity, they criticize all the time, they waste your time, they're jealous, they play the victim, they don't care, they're self-centered, they keep disappointing you. It's your job, like I said, to quarantine these people if they slip into your organization, or on the front side of your marketing, those filters are there to get rid of them before they ever step foot in your office. Saying goodbye. We need to protect the brand. If this is not an opportunity, they don't believe it, they're upset about it, whatever it is, saying goodbye should be a very positive interaction. So when you say goodbye, take care, thanks, best of luck, have a good week. These are all positive ways to say goodbye. Best regards, I appreciate the connection. All of these things will allow you to protect our brand. It is a waste of your time to argue with somebody about whether or not that our model is valid, that our model is the future for the masses, that this is an unbelievable entrepreneurial opportunity. They either see it or they don't. They don't, get rid of the conversation quickly, but do so in a positive way where you protect the brand. Also, as you build your organization, understand the value of each individual part of the business. The lead value, the client value, the partner value, partner with activity, part of your core group, or the partner actually established distribution legs. Obviously, a lead versus a partner with distribution legs has two totally separate sides of the spectrum in terms of value. You can't value a lead. You need to create leads and resolve leads. But you can see as you go down this line, the value increases more and more and more, and your effort, your energy, your resources, your time should be devoted accordingly. Start thinking about individual partner value, and this is what I've started to do for my organization. Who can I spend time with? Who can I work with that's actually trying to make it happen so I can help them one-on-one build their business? Eventually, you or I won't have to do that, but in the beginning, people need their hands held. They need to be coached and mentored. They need to be sat down with and, basically help them build the business, because over time, that upfront, investment that you put into them continues to pay on the back end. So start thinking about individual partner value. The partner's not doing anything, you should treat them differently than the partners who are actually putting forth activity, effort, joining the WHAM groups, joining the activity sheet. Especially in the very beginning, I don't look at individual results and outcomes. What I look for is activity and effort, and that's who I put my chips behind. And the evolution of a business partner, remember, they're going to come in, they're going to be very dependent on you. You're going to have to do basically everything for them. That's the hand holding. Then they're going to get to the point where you can start to coach and mentor them. They're not going to have every single question all day long. From the coach and mentoring, you're going to get them to the point where you've answered all their questions, you've helped them, and they become independent of you. And that's the franchise opportunity. That's the cash flow asset. That's the passive income. That's where we're trying to get to. Somebody can't become independent without becoming first dependent on you. So understand, in the beginning, we're going to need a lot of you. Work with the people that are trying to make it happen. Talk to your partners that are actively working to make it happen. You can't pull somebody through this business cycle, but the people that are trying to make it happen, they deserve your time. And contact your team. One of the scariest things that I see in the CRM is maybe a manager, inviter, hasn't touched a file in weeks, maybe coming out of the tier 5. If they're not licensed, maybe it's been a few weeks since somebody's contacted them. That's a bad leading indicator. It's our job, and especially the inviter's job, the manager's job, if people are testing, to encourage them to pass the test. It's very dry, boring material, but you don't want somebody to drift and quit based on the test. So encourage your testers, and then once they pass the test, you got to keep in contact with them. Now, if they're refusing to do anything, they're refusing to have activity, that's one thing. But you've got to spend time with people. You've got to groom out your team. You've got to fix your team. You've got to help them organize, identify, correct problems to put them on a right trajectory, because if you don't fix the problem early on, it's going to become a bigger and bigger problem going forward. So why have a social media strategy? And this is a lot of stuff we're going to be working on going forward. It's going to expand your marketing efforts, build brand awareness. It's one of the most powerful drivers for word of mouth. And you can use social media to attract buyers. Once again, inbound marketing. That's what we're going to be working on. Your social media strategy, you'll need to explain each social media channel that you're going to use, understand how it works, what you should be doing on there. But once again, don't spread yourself too thin. LinkedIn, Facebook in the beginning. Once you feel comfortable doing those and you're getting results, you can branch out. Develop a content strategy for your social media plan. You need to be able to identify ways that metrics are crucial to your success. Revisiting analytics, understanding, revisiting your marketing campaigns, creating new campaigns, editing the campaigns till it's right is what you're going to have to do. And then integrate social media into your other inbound marketing. Remember, you're a brand. Virtual Financial is a brand. But you, first and foremost, are the brand in your marketing. So outside of the typical education, articles, memes, all of those things, on some of these, Facebook, Instagram, you want to share a little bit about your life. Who are you? What do you like to do? How do you spend your time? Where you go? These are things that will bring a human element to your marketing. People want to work with people they actually like being around. So when you bring a human element, you allow people to get to know you better. It makes them more comfortable approaching you. And when you talk about yourself all the time, people tune out. Whether it's the business, whether it's yourself, you want to show interest in other people. That's going to get them interested in you. When you share relevant content and resources that fit your prospects' value identifiers, they actually look forward to hearing from you. And that puts you into a category where many people in the open marketplace are not falling into. You see those people always shoving links, shoving information. Those people are tuned out, and I eventually block them out of my LinkedIn account. So share relevant information, educational stuff, funny stuff. Make people look forward to hearing from you, and then what you'll be able to do is pepper in the advertisements, at about a 20 to 80% clip. If 8 out of 10 of your posts are relevant content that fit into the value identifiers, that's great. The other 20% can be hard-hitting advertisements. And really, you need to develop a social media routine. Everything that you do should be a routine. If you go into your day unsure of what you need to do, day is already pretty much a failure. Everything that you do, you need to have a routine. So when I look at my day, I have my 12-week year, what I need to try to get done out of the 12-week year. I have anything that's on my calendar. Those are set in stone, concrete appointments that I have to make. I have things that I need to do in the CRM as a marketer, consultant, manager. Then I have a separate to-do list that doesn't fall into any of that. So once you understand how to create daily routines, how to stick to those routines, this business becomes a lot easier for you, and you can teach your partners how to do the same exact thing. Have activity, grow your audience, engage your audience, grow your brand, and educate yourself. That's really what you have to be doing. And when you look at engaging your audience, that's the heart of social media. That's going to be the toughest for us, but that's going to get you the best results. We're going to be working on that in the coming months. LinkedIn, that's our go-to top spot right now, what I want you guys to be concentrated on. It's changed over the last 18 months, and it's even more in the wheelhouse of our business model, what we do, and how we can extract value. A quarter of the adult internet users are on LinkedIn. 40% check it daily. 76% of executives. It's the most affluent demographic, and it's millions of businesses on there. This is the marketing asset that you want to really concentrate on most and develop your profile, develop your audience, build your audience, engage your audience, and become somebody that people look up to, that ask questions, that you can eventually influence those people into possible business, product, client, partner, agency build out, whatever it might be. One of the things that we're going to talk about this week that I think is important, and we want to try to share new information every week. And we've got the advantage of not being territorial restricted, which means we have a lot of partners everywhere. So one of the things that we can do is we can fill up our profiles with some great recommendations that start just from our partnerships. So write in a great LinkedIn recommendation, some tips and examples. This is really easy to follow stuff. Step one. You want to start with a knockout line. Here are some examples. It's rare that you come across a standout talent like Mike. Few people have the opportunity to report to a manager who's also a coach and mentor, but I did work for Susan, ridiculously efficient. So knockout line. Step two is describe your relationship. How do you know the person? How have you worked with the person? Step three, share a standout trait. Step four, add a touch of personality. And step five, end with a solid recommendation. So those are the bullet points. 1 through 5 should be very easy for you guys to make recommendations for each other. The more recommendations that you have on the page, the more of a influential person you start to establish yourself in your network. Because when they go to the profile and see 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plus recommendations, wow, this person's on top of whatever it is they do. There's a lot of people that recommend them, that look up to them, that are associated with them. What is it they're doing? Why are people recommending them? Maybe I need to get in contact with this person. We have an excellent opportunity to win and win in a big way in a very large industry. Don't miss your chance to win. Remember, don't be a spectator here. Get in there, be aggressive, be brave, be bold, put yourself out there. Not everybody's going to like your message, but you don't need everybody to like your message. If you're doing something that's new, revolutionary, innovative, then you are going to get some haters. If you're the type of person that needs everybody to like you, you're going to struggle in this environment. Realize that some people are not going to agree with your views, not going to agree with your business model. Maybe they're just having a crappy day from your side and they want to argue. But you've got to put yourself out there. Grant Cardone says, I need half the room to like me, half the room to hate me, and I'm good with that. And finally, I'll leave you guys with this note. No matter what you're doing in the business, if you've been here 3 days, 2 years, it's a roller coaster ride. It's up and down, and things are, on the high points sometimes, the low points. But overall, if you're creating a business model and you're creating a winning environment, winning takes care of everything. So as this thing starts to hit the inflection point on a company level, on an organizational level, team level, and an individual level, it's going to take care of everything. And those blood, sweat, tears that you put into this business will start returning. And once it starts returning, it's not going to stop. You can continue to build this as big as you possibly can imagine. So what I encourage you guys to do coming up on the spring and summer, while everybody is kind of letting themselves, kind of downshifting, upshift, push through this, understand you have something incredible for the right people on the business side, and you have incredible products that are needed in today's society on the client side. If you guys need any help with anything, let us know. I'm going to pass this back to Alana. She'll open the floor for questions.
All right, another great presentation by Mike Amos. Thank you so much, Mike. I learned a lot and looking forward to implementing some of the stuff. So let me go ahead and stop the recording.